Hey, everybody, this is Ben. I'm a co-founder of Prestozon, and I'm really happy to have Trevor, the founder of Blue Wheel Media here. Blue Wheel Media is our platinum partner in the US, and we've worked really closely together over the last year. Trevor, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thank you, Ben. Appreciate it.
Can you tell us a little bit about Blue Wheel and how you got started?
Yeah, so Blue Wheel is about an 8-year-old digital marketing agency. And for about 6 of those years, we focused on helping brands build their businesses using online channels like search engine optimization, social media content marketing, Facebook, Google advertising, you name it. And about 2 years ago, we realized that Amazon had a significant potential, and we actually became a seller ourselves. And most recently took that expertise of becoming a seller ourselves and launched an Amazon advertising division, which is why we're here on the podcast today.
Great, yeah. And so you started managing your own account with the Amazon ads. How did that go?
Yeah, so, originally, we actually hired an agency, I'm not going to name who they are, to help us manage our sponsored products, or formerly AMS. And they had a auto optimization software. And because I have a digital marketing background, I realized somewhere along the way, 4 or 5 months in, I wasn't getting what I wanted. I wasn't getting the performance optimizations that I wanted, and I was not capturing all the impression share that I wanted. And so I went to look for a better solution. And we did an audit of every software, every Amazon advertising software in the marketplace. We created an Excel sheet. Down the left-hand column were all the features and functionalities the software offered, and along the top were the names of the softwares, and you check the box if that software offered that thing. And I stumbled across Ben and Prestozon and discovered search term isolation, and the rest is really history. We totally restructured all of our campaigns, and nearly 2,000 campaigns for our own Amazon business, where we sell licensed t-shirts like Superman, Batman, Harry Potter t-shirts. Restructured about 2,000 campaigns, launched them all at once, had a minimum, around about a month spike in ACoS. But since then, for our own business, we were able to decrease our ACoS from about 26% down to 8%. It's hovering around 9% now. And so if you can imagine, that was, we literally saved half of our advertising costs while increasing revenue at the same time, around 20 to 30%. I literally put $500,000 back into my pocket, thanks to, this strategy and Prestozon's ability to execute.
Wow, that's a really incredible story. We've had a ton of people come to us and say search term isolation has really changed how they do things. Was that kind of like sparked a light in your mind when you read that article?
Yeah, so it was interesting because, I thought I knew a lot about Amazon advertising. There was one key piece that I didn't realize, and that was keywords are buckets of search terms, and you can only set one bid per keyword. In other words, one bid per bucket of search terms. And, we have a set of products that are very specific when someone makes a search, very much like other businesses. Even if you think you don't, you really do. And, it made sense right away. And we spent a lot of time putting the restructure together, and it made a big impact.
Yeah, and you guys, I think you restructured your account super cleanly, and it works really well with rules. So all the search term harvesting and everything is pretty well automated at this point, I think. Is that correct?
Yeah, it is. Honestly, the only work we do at this point are the manual approval or denial of search terms, either negated or adding to our performance campaigns, and then focusing on building new campaigns for new products.
Wow. Yeah. And so can you give the audience a little bit of a context about the scale of this account? You said 2,000 campaigns. Can you give like a round budget number? Is it like less than 10,000, more than $10,000 a month of spend?
Yeah. So 2.5 years ago is when we started the business. We were doing $0 in revenue. Last year in 2018, we approached the $20 million mark. We used to spend about $1 million in advertising a year. Now, thankful to this search term isolation process and Prestozon, we spend half that, about $500,000 a year. And we generate about 33% of our total revenue from our advertising.
Wow. That's great. And you've expanded now, and you're not just managing your account, you're managing a bunch of clients' accounts. Can you tell us a little bit about your agency and, how you onboard people, and what are let's just start there.
Yeah. So, as I mentioned, Blue Wheel is an 8-year-old agency, and for 6 of those years, we really focused on off Amazon marketing and services to brands off of Amazon. About a year ago, we launched our Amazon division, where we specifically help manage the Amazon advertising for other brands on Amazon. We focus on both the search and the display side, so Amazon DSP. But specific to this conversation, we're doing what we do best and have done for nearly 8 years, which is we've brought in the best people and built the best process to implement search term isolation using Prestozon's platform to improve and make major impacts to brands who sell on Amazon. In August, when we were just really getting started, in August of 2018, when we were just getting started with our Amazon advertising division, we were really a small agency, a boutique firm, maybe about 12 people. And from launching our Amazon advertising division, we've grown to 30 plus people in the past 6 months. We work with nearly 50 brands on Amazon, and some of the world's largest brands in their product categories, many whom you're probably familiar with if you saw them.
Wow, that's incredible growth. So you've basically over doubled the size of your company in 6 months.
Correct. It didn't happen by accident. We spent about 8 months planning to go to market. I know you remember that, Ben. It was constant emails back and forth saying, hey, we're intending to be a big partner of yours. Here's our plans, keeping you up to date. And finally, we went to market, after bringing in key people who have worked in the Amazon advertising space before. Ryan Burgess, who used to work at CPC Strategy, is our director of Amazon. He's incredible. And building a whole account team before we even went to market. So there was a lot of planning involved, but you're right. Yes, we have doubled our business in the past 6 months.
And how do you see the Amazon space evolving? You've obviously, you kind of got in early with, when ads were kind of small, and like they've grown incredibly over the last 2 years. I mean, I've seen the market go from, mostly small accounts and, people not really knowing what they're doing to right now it's really competitive, and there are these huge budgets flying around. You must see a lot of different kinds of accounts come across your desk. How do you see the space evolving in 2019?
It's a great question. And there's a couple of things that I'll say there. The first is, if you are selling on Amazon and you are not advertising, you might as well stop selling on Amazon. I mean, unless you don't care about growth, you can intake whatever revenue you're generating already by having whatever listings are on Amazon. That's going to be short-lived. It is a pay-to-play platform, and the best sellers or the best brands who will have the best outcome in 1 to 2 years are the smartest advertisers. There's a lot of other functions of Amazon too, like inventory management, being Prime eligible, great listings. All those things are important, but the most important thing is having the most technically advanced advertising platform. And I'm not just telling whoever's listening to this because I'm an agency and we offer those things. I can care less if they listen to me or not. I run my own Amazon business, and I know that there's other people who sell similar products. So how am I going to beat them? We're all in the same playing field from a listing standpoint. Everybody knows how to become Prime eligible, but what becomes very technical and where you can, branch ahead of somebody else because you have something a little bit smarter than them is the advertising. And so if you ask me, where I see it over the next 1 to 2 years, the next 18 months are probably the window to get in from an advertising standpoint because CPCs are going to be lower. In 2 years, there's going to be a lot of demand and CPCs are going to go up. Not to mention, if you're able to employ those smart strategies now, your brand will generate more reviews and ultimately be ahead of brands that fall by the wayside. Even if the brand started selling on Amazon 5 years ago and have a leg up on you because of the number of reviews they've generated early on. I think soon, given the complexity of the advertising, like product ASIN targeting and strategies that revolved around dynamic bidding, those utilizing all of these in the strongest way will eventually overcome those listings that, might have 10,000 reviews because they used some discount loyalty club 5 years ago when they were allowed to.
Right. I couldn't agree more. I think that's, yeah, I mean, it used to be all about getting the top organic rank. Now, there have been articles showing how much of the, above the fold real estate on Amazon is actually advertising or Amazon's own products now. And so you have to compete with both the ads and Amazon's private label business. And that's best done with advertising. And I think that...
Yeah, there was something really, really telling the other day. Viral Launch, most of the audience should probably be familiar with who they are, did a webinar. And it was about this newest, greatest feature they had. And guess what it was about? Product ASIN targeting. And how you can use Viral Launch to mine certain keywords to develop the best product ASIN targeting strategy to boost your sales rank. It wasn't a webinar about giving product away through their promotional or discount, feature they had for the past 5 years. It was about how do you use the platform to make the smartest advertising strategy. And when you see companies like that who evolved from where they were in, the review space or the gray market incentivized, review space to focusing on tools to help you advertise, that, this is where the market is moving.
Yeah, exactly. And also with, to your point about CPCs going up, I think that that's probably going to happen with this new dynamic bidding feature that Amazon launched. I'm pretty excited about it. I think that Amazon was doing some of this adjustment of your bid in the background, even before they released it as a feature that you could adjust. Now it gives more control to advertisers. So I think that's a good thing. I think what's probably going to happen is that you're allowing Amazon to set more or have more control over your bid, and it's for a competitive spot. Top of page is something you can increase your bid up to 900% on. And I think if everybody starts bidding, plus 900% for the top of page, that CPC is going to go up pretty dramatically. And I think that that's probably going to influence a lot of this ad market across all of the placements. And especially as Amazon continues to add new placements and increase the number of impressions, I think that you're absolutely right. CPC is going to go up. So it's really important to have your ad strategy under control so that even when CPCs are going up, you can maintain a reasonable A cost for your business.
Yep, absolutely.
Great. Well, thanks a lot, Trevor. Where can somebody get in touch with you if they want to talk with you about maybe managing their account through Blue Wheel Media?
Good question. Just head over to our website, bluewheelmedia.com. A bunch of contact forms. You can always email me, Trevor at bluewheelmedia.com, and I'd be happy to connect you to the right team.
Great. And as always, we're at prestozon.com. Feel free to email team@prestozon.com if you want to get in touch with us. Thanks a lot, Trevor.
Yeah, thanks, Ben. Talk to you soon.